All you want is sugar and salt, yeah. Mama tried, it's not her fault to bring you up the proper Christian way, but you won't have none of it. All you want is sugar and salt. Get a job, get off your butts. There's wolves with their names on the cash that you
Still talking bars? There's a lot of different bars here.
What's the problem? All you want is whiskey and pot.
Hey, what are you doing? I like 12 Steps on karaoke night because Jeri's there doing karaoke. She's always fun, and there's a bunch of good singers that hang out there. And that's fun, but I really go there to play pool. Because there's really good pool players there. Some of the best in the city are right there at 12 Steps. And Jeff and Nick, and it's like you all know each other. And that's the thing I like about that bar is instead of putting quarters down, you put business cards down. So you get to learn people's names. And like at the garage, you write your name so you learn people's names. But when you go to places where you have quarters, you don't know who you play pool with for like a year. And then you say, oh, by the way, what's your name? You made a lot of friends that way because you, like Caitlin, she's funny. When she's playing pool, she takes it so serious, and she's like me, we're following all the rules. Always fun playing with people like that. And Bill, he's like probably one of the best pool players I have ever met in my life. He's an older gentleman who plays, older than me even. I mean, I'm so much older than the normal population who plays pool around here, unless you go to certain bars. Grumpy's has more people around my age. Watkins has a blend. At Garage, you meet a lot of people from, like, Jersey boys.
Wood guy Chris is gonna carve some wood. You bet your ass he's gonna carve it good. Watch him close and maybe learn some tricks. Here's Wood guy Chris to show you how to make this.
We already have the piece of wood selected. Let's go over to the shop and see what we're going to do with it. Stanley planer. I picked this up at a flea market for like $20. It really isn't terribly bad. The thing about it is the blades on these last forever because you can always sharpen them. A little bit of an angle. It's giving me a bit of chip wedge here. A little bit of wobble in this, a little bit of chip out, but that's okay because we're going to sand it off and a lot of this is going to get cut away anyway. Feel the spoon, feel the way that it kind of curves around, feel what kind of spoon you want to make, you know, it's good.
Oh, I can't say I don't like the Windsor, but it's a really good deal because you get a $4 shot with $4 for a shot of Windsor and a Sinatra, please stop. Tully on the rocks always, because my bartender friend told me a long time ago it was the best whiskey to drink. Doesn't give you a hangover. She wasn't working at a bar then, now she's a bartender at Ray's. Thursday nights and a lot of other shifts. She's really good. She has pink hair. And I love Ray's in general because the owners are cool people. Lou and Rose are like family to a lot of people. They had their 75th anniversary. Lou and her son and Rose and Lou, his son, Anthony. And it was really, really fun. And Coach was there, the best bartender ever in the world. He's retired now. Tony, but he still goes to Ray's sometimes. But we had fun. Everybody dressed up in period pieces for the day. It was so much fun. And I gave away candy cigarettes because it's a smoking bar, but it was for the public. So everybody was there that day that wasn't smoking. But I made $50 in tips for giving away candy cigarettes.
coping saw is a saw that has a very small blade, very thin, kind of flexible. Let the blade kind of glide through the wood. It's not like a fight. It should just kind of go right over. So you get to a point where you run out of space. And then we'll start it. So the straighter you go, the easier the blade will come out. So we can go in this way and do the same thing we just did on the other side.
The best night I ever had out in South Philly was 4 years ago. Before I had my shop though. But I was playing pool and had, I can't tell that story. I cannot tell that story. It's not, I can't tell that story. No, I can't. Change my mind. No. It's the caddy who said, Mommy, don't.
Slow burn, sagging low on the wire. I am watching with the test results in my hand.
Anyway, but it involved a really, really good looking, tall soldier who was going off the next day to Iraq. And the best time. It was so much fun. Good night. But that was that grumpy's.
One of the things that I do a lot is use my body for bracing. This way, as I do it, I don't get as much wobble. This takes a little bit of time to get used to and like really start to understand that as you get around the corners and things, pieces change, shapes change. Alright, so now we're at the end of our coping saw. So what we're going to do is we're going to back out just a little tiny bit so that we have some room. And then down here we have a knob and another knob. We're going to turn it about 45 degrees here. Try to keep the blade straight, so we want to look at it from straight away, and then we'll retighten it up. And then this way, we continue to cut along our line here until we get to the last point. Now I'm watching the blade bandsaw. And imagine cut through this piece of wood quickly and easily. Just like that. So now we have our two pieces cut away and a rough spoon.
Strangers in my bedroom shoving pictures in my face of strangers. I'm brand new every day and I guess wow! The year they say is 1928. They blow the window shut. They bet those high-scented chemicals, and every breath our brains would rot. Through all this work, I can't remember my name. Tanning leather will kill me someday.
Wood reamer. It's a serrated blade that sits on a long handle. You can kind of really push into it. It takes a lot of wood away very quickly. The less your wood moves while you work on it, the more your tool will work. And we'll just work the top of it a little bit. scratches in the wood. Light, gentle taps that are only taking about 1/16 of an inch away. Each time we do it, we work our way out a little bit more and tilt the blade a little bit. The more we do it, the deeper it gets. Just little taps. Until we got it all shaved away. And just little taps. Pull it away. Little taps. Pull it away. Little taps.
They shoved me in a basement, had me down in front of the TV, black and white. Oh, the year they say is 1963, and I drink the dirty water, not afraid of expiration dates. They're standing on the stairs, watching me like they know me. The year they say is 1928. They pull the windows shut. They bet those hides dipped in chemicals, and every breath our brains would run. Through all this work, I can't remember my name. Tanning leather will kill me someday.
I use 60 grit to do my shaping, so I just go and I fold it over, and then I take my thumbs and I push in like this, using that clamp as like a brace. I just kind of work my way around the edge of the spoon, quickly shaping it into a smoother piece, and then we'll switch it. I'm just going to work it so that you can still feel the little dips and dives from the planer that we had used earlier. So, here we go. Alright. So now that we have the spoon all sanded, let's talk about finish. Because we're going to put it into soups and sketties and all kinds of things later, we want to make sure that it's food safe. So we want to use a cutting board oil or mineral oil. Both are the same thing. Cutting board oil, you spend $8. Mineral oil, you spend $2. So mineral oil is the better way to go. So I'm going to apply a little bit to a paper towel here, and then just go and take that paper towel and run it through the piece of wood until all of the wood is saturated by this towel. And it's also going to clean the piece, giving it a brighter colored look. You can see here the coloration difference. And there you have it. One deliciously ready wood spoon for cooking enjoyment.
So I took stand-up comedy when I lived in Maryland. I was talking about things like online dating and poker and sex and all these funny things that I look like a librarian. So it just kind of was unusual. So like these things would come out of my mouth and it was funny. But went to this one bar and they said, is anybody in here under 21? And there was like, everybody raised their hand. And then like the whole room would have left. So he said, well, never mind, just don't order a drink. So we had to sit there the whole time, and I knew that these were people under 21 who weren't drinking, who never even cared about online dating, never heard of online dating, didn't know anything about midlife crisis, didn't know anything about poker for sure. I mean, it was just like, or being a cougar. It was like all these things I was talking about. That is the only joke I did get there. I did get they got the cougar joke, but the less reception I was getting, the worse I was getting at it, and I just wanted to literally run off stage. So I quit for like a year then, and then I got up on stage and did it a couple of other times. I did it here twice at Ray's. Lou does a joke off, and they give you a list of questions to write jokes about. Well, I do routines. I talk about funny stories about poker. I talk about things like at when I was, I talk about real life. Like, you know, how life sucks and you just have to make it funny and happy because you always have a story everywhere you go.
Walking home, slouching beneath the factory shadow. Small things fall to big hands, human. walking home, slouching beneath the factory shadows. Small things fall through big hands. Small things fall through big hands. Small things fall through big hands. Yeah, man. Small things fall through big hands. Small things fall through big hands. Small things fall through big hands. Yeah, man. Cool.